Hey guys, and welcome to the Walkaround from ZigWheels of the India spec Hyundai Kona EV. Now this car has just been launched in India at a price of rupees 25.3 lakh ex-showroom all India. Additional 20,000 rupees, that's 25.5 lakh for the dual tone color option. So let's start off with that. You get a total of 5 color options. There's a white, there's a silver, there's a black, there's a blue, and this white in front of you is also available with a contrast colored phantom black roof, which of course costs the additional 20,000 rupees. Now in this video we're going to give you a walk around about the car, give you an impression of what it is in terms of size, in terms of design, what it offers in terms of its electric car technologies, and of course the comfort and convenience without which we wouldn't expect you to buy a car this expensive in the first place. So in terms of impressions, in terms of size and road presence, this thing is something in between the Hyundai Venue, which is a sub 4 meter SUV, and the mid-size Hyundai Creta. In terms of length, width and wheelbase, this thing is larger than the Venue, but in terms of height it's about 20 millimeters shorter. So it's not going for that old school SUV that's boxy look. It's going for something more curvaceous, crossoverish, and you do get that low slung chic design of a crossover, which also comes with some benefits in terms of aerodynamics. So aside from the curvy design, you also have that faux front grille, which will help in the reduction of drag, and this thing gets a CDA of 0.29, which is quite impressive. And versus the Creta, this thing is, well, it offers a larger width as well as a larger wheelbase, but in terms of length and height it's actually shorter. So that's the territory it falls into. So even though pricing wise you're looking at something closer to the Tucson, it is size wise something that you would possibly call a more evolved version of an i20 Active, if I could say so. Like if this was a more dedicated i20 Active, this is probably what it would look like. Now next up, what is the electric car technology? So you get a total of two battery pack options. There is a 39.2 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is what we get in the India spec, and the international models are also available with a 64 kilowatt hour battery pack, both lithium ion and mounted down below in the floor pan to give it a nice and low center of gravity. Now, the India spec version has a claimed range as per ARAI of around 452 kilometers, which is quite generous because the same spec in Europe has a claimed range of around 350 kilometers, which is as per the NEDC rating system. Ours of course is by ARAI, so some amount of leniency on that front. How this turns out in the real world, we'll have to wait and see. Beyond that, you also get a electric motor, of course. This is a front wheel drive crossover, makes around 136 PS and whereabouts of 395 Newton meters of torque. And of course the benefit with an electric car like this is that you don't have to wait or push it to the red line. The torque is available right from the get-go, which is why you get a claimed 0 to 100 time of 9.7 seconds, which isn't too impressive but not too bad either. Now let's talk about the features that you get. First up, you have these LED DRLs, you have LED projector headlights, move over in between, and this grille isn't just decorative. If you push this bit open, you'll find the charging slots right here, along with a bar that shows you how much the car has been juiced up to. So since we are talking about the charge, you have a total of 3 options. There is a DC fast charge option, which gets it up from a 0 to 80% charge in 57 minutes. That is going to be something set up at showrooms and service centers of Hyundai, along with some public spaces if they have tie-ups like that. And incidentally they do, because Hyundai is working with Indian Oil to set up charging points in major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, and they're going to have these charge points, DC fast charge points at the fuel stations themselves. But as standard, Hyundai Kona gets 2 other charge options. Number one is a 7.2 kilowatt Wallbox charger, which will be set up at your home by a third party after they've analyzed the competency of the electric system to, take the kind of load that you would require for a car like this. And using that, you can either charge it for 1 hour and get a boost of about 50 kilometers in your range. Alternatively, if you're looking at an absolute 0 to 100 charge time, well, that's 6 hours and 10 minutes as per Hyundai's estimates. The other option is a 2.8 kilowatt charger. Now that thing is a portable charger, something you can plug into your 3-pin plug at home, 15 amp. That takes a good 19 hours for a 0 to 100% charge. So good amount of versatility on that front. And incidentally, since we are talking about versatility and accessibility for users of car like this, of course they will be first movers. You do get a lot of peace of mind from Hyundai's side, because this car gets a 3-year unlimited kilometer warranty as standard, and the battery pack specifically, well, that's got an 8-year 1.6 lakh kilometer warranty. So pretty impressive. And along with that, they're going to have a lot of roadside assistance, which will also include mobile charging vans. So in case you have some kind of point where you're running out of charge, the roadside assistance system can actually help you out on that front. So Hyundai is going over and above above, not just by introducing a car that's very well loaded, but also something that will be relatively usable in the Indian context in particular. Now, I did segue a bit from the features list. At the back, you do get these LED tail lights. You also have fog lights at the back. And these are bumper mounted, definitely a very quirky looking car. Now, let's just pop open the boot. Now, this isn't an electric tailgate. What got it up like that are the hydraulic struts. Take a good look there at the charger cable that will be coming along with this car. Looks pretty neat. So the boot space itself, we don't have an exact figure as of now. I put it in the whereabouts of 300 odd liters, which is good for maybe 2 large suitcases, a trolley bag to top on that. But that's more or less about it. So it's not super accommodating, definitely not in the same territory as a Tucson, but not unusable either. Now let's give you a glance at the cabin. So the features list continues on the inside, but before I get into that, just take a look at this and appreciate the fact that even though this is an electric vehicle, it's something that's unique. In the cabin, it doesn't look like something unusual. It's not unnecessarily trying to be something futuristic. In fact, if you look at the steering wheel, it looks very familiar to something like a Hyundai Venue. So let's get into the features list. You have this analog and digital combination for the instrument cluster. You have steering motor controls for the audio, telephony and cruise control. The front seats and the rear seats, of course, draped in leather along with the steering, but on top of that, the front seats are also ventilated and heated. You also get an electronic parking brake, along with this rather quirky gear selector. Of course, this doesn't have gears per se, it's just driving modes, which to that end you also get these paddle shifters, which essentially turn this into a single pedal car, because these things don't control gears per se. What they do is control the brake energy regeneration. So the more intensive you set them up to, you're going to get a lot more intensive retardation from the brake energy regen system. So no power is led to waste, and of course that does translate to an improvement in travel range. Aside from that, you also have auto AC with a special mode that can direct air only towards the driver if you have like low battery and don't want to spend the air going towards passengers who aren't there. Beyond that, you also have an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, of course with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And if you move up, you'll notice something that is there and something that isn't. Number one, you have an auto-dimming IRVM, but unlike the Venue, there are no buttons here for the Blue Link system. So yeah, that's not something you're getting over here, which is a little bit disappointing, but deal breaker or not, that's something for you to tell us. Up on top, you also get this electric sunroof, and at the back, to give you a rough idea of the space, this isn't something that's palatial. Definitely not in the same league as something like a Hyundai Tucson, and maybe in the whereabouts of something like the Hyundai Creta. So 2 6-footers, one behind the other, it's not going to be ideal. Not so much because of the space, because you can still manage that, but you can take a look over here. The seat base is actually kind of close to the floor itself. So if you're taller, chances are you're going to be sitting knees up. And as for 3, it's going to be manageable, but not ideal. But you do get 3 adjustable headrests, along with a rear armrest with cup holders. Now we've gotten on to all those details. We're not just talking about comfort, convenience. This also is a very safe car because it is available only in one trim level. You're going to have features like 6 airbags, vehicle stability management, electronic stability program, ABS with EBD. All those works are going to be offered in this car as standard. So a very well packaged car for the price. Definitely not the most family friendly for something in that price pocket. We'll be looking at ICE options like a Jeep Compass. Even for something less than that, you can even get a Tata Harrier. But if you are looking to get an electric vehicle that seems relatively usable in the real world, which isn't compromising all of the daily usabilities just for the sake of being an electric car. It's not just something that's giving you 100-150 kilometers of range either. It's something that's giving you enough to possibly charge up just once in the week and use it through the week for your daily commutes or what have you. Possibly even do some road trips, something we'll find out in the real world test. It's definitely a very interesting car and a more dedicated move towards getting electric cars into the mainstream car market of India. What do you think about this car? Go ahead and let us know in the comments. What do you think about the price? And is this going to be something for a primary car user, or is it going to be the second or third car in the family? Would you consider it for that use case? Do let us know in the comment section. But for now, signing off from here, thank you so much for watching.